Good morning and welcome home. Here we are. Isn't it pretty? Isn't it a beautiful spot? Let's have a look out the patio, shall we? Oh wow, look at that. Oh, a big pile of rubbish. Right, I'm feeling pretty good. About to have a good old stretch, pack up the tent. I'm gonna go get some soup, or chorba as they call it here. Pick up my batteries and get back on the road. So I have to head towards an embassy, the Iranian embassy, to pick up my visa. And I did a bit of research on the map last night, and it turns out I've got nearly 3,000 meters of elevation to do, which is a fucking big hill. This is a big hill. So it's going to take me days to get there, days and days and days. So I gave myself 5 days to ride there if it was flat. So it's going to take me a good week to get there. This is it. This is adventure. I've been complaining a bit about the road being flat and being highway and stuff like that. So let's go take some back roads and let's go up into the mountains. Fuck it, right? Let's go exploring. Let's hit the road. So here I am at the little cafe, and I'm having chorba, which is soup for breakfast, and some chai or tea. And essentially a couple of guys just came in here that I don't really describe as gangsters. And they just paid for my breakfast, come in, counted a big fat stack of money, and then just headed straight back out the door. So now I'm sitting here eating free breakfast. And he also gave me a phone number to meet him further down the road in another couple of cities, and then maybe I can stay with him. He has a restaurant there. Interesting morning to say the least. Anyway, I'll be on the road soon. I'm going to eat my breakfast and get back to it. See you later. How we doing? So, the Wi-Fi spotter app has got me out in front of a construction site in the middle of fucking nowhere. So, I'm going to get some Wi-Fi a little bit different this time. Thank God for this app, because it just allows me to get Wi-Fi without having to go into places and have the awkward conversation about whether or not to buy something and whether or not I can get the Wi-Fi code and all that, because as you found in my last videos, nearly every time I do it in Turkey they reject me. So now I'm just going to go around them and just get the passwords from other ways, and this is how I'm doing it. So that's it. Let's chill out and get some Wi-Fi for a little bit before I hit the road and ride up this big old fucking hill. Here we are rolling into Gursul, and this is essentially the end of the coastline. I've already put down about 40 kilometers now so far, and I'm going to start heading in over that towards those big green things in the distance. Hills. I've been carrying an extra cassette for my back wheel, which has a larger gear spine on the back, which will give me easier climbing capabilities. Maybe a bit slower, but it will make me be able to climb. So I'm going to stop in this town. And I'm going to switch up the stuff on the bike. I'm going to change over my chain and change over my cassette on my rear wheel. Just give my bike a little bit of a service before we head up. And that's it for the coast for the next week or so. I might even have a little dip in the sea before I go up there. But we'll see. So anyway, that's it. Let's fix the bike. How are we doing? So, just finished doing the bit of bike maintenance here. Put the bike upside down. There's the wheel. So what I've done is change this bad boy. I've taken this one off and I've put a new one on, which looks like this. So essentially it's just got this big gear here. It's essentially the same thing, just with one bigger gear. So that way when I get a hill, it won't be so hard. I should be able to go right up on it, and that's it really. I might also change my cranks over and just have a bit of a look around and see how it's going. But other than that, the bike's riding pretty well, and I'm happy with the way it's going, so I'll leave it as it is. That's it. I'll leave you to it. Seaside bike maintenance. Right, so attempting to undo my cranks, I've essentially changed over everything, my chain, my sprocket, and everything like that seamlessly, and done it really quickly. But I've come to my cranks, and you need to take this little bolt out here to extract the crank. But some genius, and whoever owned this bike last, has glued this like fake cap thing back in. On the other side it came off nice and easy. This is it sort of screws in. But some fucking genius has super glued this one in. So I literally have to pick out all of this plastic. As you can see, I've already started. I have to chip all this away. That's not steel, it's just plastic. okay, just to get to this. Don't super glue things on bikes. If it's steel, it screws in, okay? If it's got a thread, it screws in. You don't need to glue it in, because otherwise it makes things really, really annoying when you have to change stuff over. Anyway, I'll be here for the next half an hour picking away plastic just to get to this part. Okay, so little update on the bike. Turns out it needed way more maintenance than I thought it did. So essentially, I've taken the crankset off, as you can see. There we go. Here we are, all the parts down here. And one of the bearing cases was absolutely shattered and smashed in half. So it's fucked, essentially. Luckily, I do carry spares. I do carry spare bearing cases, but I'm actually changing out the entire shaft. So I've actually gone with a sealed bearing crankset. So this one here is supposed to be the bee's knees. So I'm changing out the whole thing, depending on whether or not I can get this off, because this is going to be the tough bit. I don't really have the right tool for this, but I'm going to give it a go. If not, I do have spare bearing cases, so I can still use the old one anyway. But yeah, so maintenance was far more needed than I thought it was. I would have been doing damage to my interior of my bottom bracket. So fortunately, I've pulled it apart now, and it's all going to be good very, very shortly. Hopefully the rain doesn't come though. Anyway, bike update done. So, final bike update. Essentially, the cartridge unit, this one here, which is the dog's bollocks compared to what I'm using like a really old antique system. This is like the real deal. It is the right one. It is the perfect one. It's exactly correct for my bike. It's the right size and everything like that. But because my bike is 45 years old, in here, just there, right? I don't know if you can see it, but essentially that pole, that pipe, just inside in here, is sticking out that little bit, not allowing me to push it through nice and straight and to get a good twist on it. So I need to get a file in there and give it a good, but that's one tool I don't carry, because I don't really ever think that, you know, hey, my bike, I need a file for my bike. So it's the one tool I don't carry. I mean, I carry fucking heaps of different stuff. I carry all different sorts of shit, but not that. I didn't think I'd be doing woodwork on my bike or anything like that, or filing down bits that are protruding. So I'm going to have to go back to the old antique system, but like I said, I do carry an extra bearing casing, which is this one here, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to pop some bearings in it now, whack some grease on it, and put it back together. And that's it. I'm going to be back on the road. So that's the final video, and that's all my maintenance done. See you later. Bastard. Fucking bastard. How we doing? So, bike's back together. There it is. And I'm just starting to pack up my stuff now. I was charging my phone just on one of my batteries, and it was one of the batteries that essentially I charged up last night at the Dude's Cafe that I was telling you about. And I noticed that it was flashing red, and I was like, hang on, that charged all night. So I checked my other battery, and the other battery's on less than 25% as well. So what that means is, essentially, the old fella, who I thought was going to let me charge my stuff all night, has unplugged it or turned the power off or something like that, thinking, I don't know, like he's obviously didn't realize I was asking him to charge the batteries overnight, because the batteries need, you know, a good 10 hours to charge. Again, Turkish people just a little bit daft. I don't think it's their fault. It's making it really hard for me though, because I can't communicate something, and essentially he's fucking shooting me in the foot. So I have to find another place tonight now to charge up my stuff, otherwise I can't make videos. Anyway, back on the road. So here I am at another mechanics sort of place. He's a welder, he's a truck body builder, and of course he can make me a new bracket. So I've come here, and he's cutting me up a new one now. And again, just to go even further to prove the point of just being able to have a go at communicating, this man he just had a crack. You know what I mean? Like, at actually trying to understand. We use a translator just the same as I always do with everybody else, but this guy's actually giving me a hand, and that's how it's working. So now we're going to build a new one.
Hello.
So yeah, here we go. Get a new bracket made up, and then my bike is pretty much fully serviceable, except for one spoke. Fuck it. So the rain has come, but on a good note, my bike is now fixed. So we have a fully proper hard steel bracket, and that's going to hold for a long time. And also, just to add my good luck, a man was walking past, and the mechanic yelled out, "Hey, do you speak English?" And he come over, and we had a bit of a chat. And the man actually grew up and lived in Germany, and but he's from Turkey and he lives here now. I asked him if there was somewhere I could camp, and he offered me to stay at his house. His name's Yusuf. He's gone to the shop, and he said he'd come back in half an hour, so I can just wait here for him until he gets back. And then if he's okay with being on camera, you'll get to meet him too. But turns out my luck has just switched completely. I've gotten all my maintenance done. I've got my bike completely repaired. Even though my batteries weren't charged properly last night, they're definitely going to be charged tonight. So everything has just worked out in Billy Keith's favour again. And this is what the road does. This is how it surprises you. So yeah, good news. See you around. So here I am in the house of Yusuf and Hava. This is Hava here.
Yeah.
Hava is cracking hazelnuts, and we've also had some pears and some grapes. And these grapes, oh my god, they've these grapes, they taste like candy. I've never had any grapes like this before, and I've been eating so much food. We've had soup and fish and everything like that. And now we're having a cup of tea together, and everything's really nice. But I'm very happy and very grateful to be here. And sometimes the world chucks you a bone and helps you out. So thank you very much, Hava. Teşekkürler. And that's it. I'm going to leave it there and just leave a piece out of be grateful, because sometimes life helps you out and you should take advantage of it. Peace out.